Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. In our last episode, we, I don't actually remember where we left off. What did we do? We got fiber going, that's what it was. Yes. And we were doing something with that fiber. What was it? Microfiber. And did we decide we're making microfiber on site? Because it doesn't go in all that many things. Yeah, it goes in like basically 3 things. I guess, well, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is something else, and it's a turd recipe, so I don't imagine we're gonna need to make all that many saddles in the course of our... You can saddle up Ulrichs? What the heck? What on earth? I'm so interested by that. Turd. Ulrich. What is this? Ulrich upgrade. Glue factory? Oh my gosh. Okay, heated saddle. Saddle up those GMO horses. Will improve speed and productivity. Wow, okay. And you can use skin, niobium, and flue gas, or skin, nichrome, and microfiber. Surely the niobium and flue gas is easier. So I would probably just... Oh, I guess it's twice as productive, though, for that one. But still, 1 nichrome and 1 microfiber versus 1 niobium and some flue gas? That's gotta be... Niobium's not that expensive, right? I guess it kind of maybe is. Scraping bots. Scrape manure and use bedding from the ground, making the enclosure cleaner and Ulrichs happier. Does that increase productivity, or... The speed is the same. Oh. I don't really understand the Ulrichs happier part, because the recipe is exactly the same, it just also outputs manure. Anyway, this is not a turd investigation episode. There is something I wanted to go do. String Weasel, the maker of the configurable valves mod, which I'm using, added... Oh, I'm already in the correct block here. They added a automatic thing that checks for valve connections. Bad valve connections, so you can see here in the chat log, if I can open it up. What's my chat? I don't remember. There we go. Detected 2 bad valve connections with pumps. And so it automatically looks for valve plus pump and detects it. And we didn't find this one when we were looking at our other stuff, so what we need to do is put, and this one's actually a little annoying because of how everything's jammed in here, because we need to put a pipe between things here. So I guess what we can do is shift, 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 shift. Did I just break something? Nope. Shift, shift, and then pipe, pipe. And then that should work. Now, it didn't matter too much because when I look at it, this is only between the buildings. It would remove the entire buffer though, which could be annoying. And remember, this only goes when we need to trash, like when we have too much HCl but not enough sodium hydroxide, we will actually trash some of the chlorine or hydrogen so that we just make more sodium hydroxide from saline water, is what that's doing. Anyway, so... Oh, what is that? Is that a spoilage bar? Just straight on the item? That's new. And yeah, Helfima had added the, I don't know if you guys remember, but this drop-down box, oof. I hate being a complainer, but this isn't what I wanted either. I just wanted to be able to see the megajoules. I don't need... Like, I want this to be a fixed width that does cut off the name if it's really long. Because now this window is super wide for no reason. Like, there's a bunch of wasted space, and these aren't even lining up correctly. So this still isn't quite what I'm envisioning. Also, the bottom of this window is glitched out. Look at it. Like down here. So something's glitched out here. Anyway, yeah, it's not quite... I'll take some pictures here and try to explain. Definitely a step in the right direction. There's also a setting for it now. Where's the setting? So, fuel compact display is the option. But see, that's too compact. I want to see the fuel value. The fact that it's... Because it does pull up a tooltip here, but you have to mouse over it to see it. I don't know, maybe this is fine. Like, is it really that bad to just see the icon? Personally, I prefer the icon plus the fuel value, and then the name could get cut off if it's too wide. But maybe this is fine. I don't know. I do think the other one's a little bit problematic, though. Anyway, so we're gonna make microfiber here. Good alien sample. Do we have everything we need for this? Retrovirus is all of this. So this needs to go up because laboratory instruments are in them. What else is this asking for? It's asking for poor alien samples, which are ground samples and biosamples. What are those again? Dirt and clay. And more alien-y things. Goodness. Bone meal's in there. Okay, is this completely broken down? I guess optical sets. What are we doing with optical sets? Those are on trains, right? They're not currently on trains, but they can be. Yeah, I can just put them in here. Easily enough. So let's go do that. Guys, we're getting there. We're actually... I mean, there's still a few things we haven't started yet for, like Zippiers and Corlex. So there's still some big processes, but at the same time, we're like actually beginning to think about constructing some of the stuff that makes pY2 science, which is crazy. Was there always a scroll bar here? That's not correct either, is it? Oh, goodness. Hellmod is one of the, like, the mod maker's been really responsive, and I'm thankful for that, but the updates often feel like they have unintended consequences. It kind of feels like the king of unintended consequences. Like, there'll be a change that's made, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's good, but also, like, maybe not just good. That's how it feels anyway. And like I said, I don't want to be a complainer, but sometimes things can feel like they get worse, not better. Okay, so do that, and... do we have enough space for glass in here? I think we do. Oh yeah, and this is the kind where we do this. And then we can have 2 going in like that. And those are wired up. And those will be measured. Okay. So then optical sets and glassware going in. Which one goes left? Glassware. So this one is optical set. This one is glassware. I'm gonna do 1,000 of each. What are the actual numbers that we're gonna be needing here? Glassware, we do need a full 1 per second, and it stacks to 100. So 10 stacks is 1,000 seconds. But I may want the full 20 stacks of that. That's a lot of glassware. So we may want the full 2,000. So I'll do 2,200 here. Per train load. Optical sets, on the other hand, do not need to be a full train load. Because they also stack to 100. So therefore 1 stack is already 1,000 seconds. So 10 stacks feels like enough. I'll probably move like 5 stacks at a time. Something like that. What's going on here? This feels like it's too slow. Yeah, we need like 3 items a second here. There we go. Okay, that can make 1.667 glassware, which is enough, technically. And remember, we pumped up this science amount to pretty large numbers here. So the requirements are a bit higher. Okay, anyway. What are we doing next? We're gonna need some crazy amount of train stops to bring all this stuff in. I might move a lot of it with logistics bots, because the number, I mean, look at the numbers. Even on this whole pY2 science, some of these numbers are still so small. You know, like only needing 0.834 or 0.017 Nextlet. Like, I should totally move Nextlet with logistics bots there. You know, it just makes sense. The lead, the titanium. Now, some of this stuff, though, isn't properly measured. Like, we'll be bringing a different item in on trains. Like, we can move Zapier eggs or good alien samples. You know, we'll be doing all that with bots. If it's less than 0.1 a second, I should probably move it with bots. It's just so much easier that way. And it's reliable, and it totally removes a lot of the massive amounts of buffering that happens on belts. So that's the plan. Let me go catch up with cotton guts and sponges. Cotton guts are just down here. Do we have everything we need? No, we don't. We're almost out of belts, actually. Let's grab some more of those. And then anything else we're running low on? Inserters are doing okay. Well, actually they're not. Now they are. Power poles, grab another stack. Alright, so the cotton guts down here. Where are they again? Over here. How many we got? Only 50? Oh, of course there's a rock. Always a rock. How's this belt looking? Is it oversaturated? No, it's got some gaps on it. And where are the missing two that it's complaining about? Because I'm kind of tired of that. So let's make you done with the complaining. And these are all filled, right? Yeah. And now we're close. Still need another 70-ish. Okay, but these are all stopped. So, that's good. And then down to sponges. Where's the button again? I can never find it. There it is. And honestly, the train stops, I feel like, are visually noisy. Alright, so we'll be doing this. Get the sponges going. Oh yeah, we got plenty. Wait, how did... Oh, just the way I have it set up right now. Spoilage can end up in here. Hold on, I might not have enough to do the whole thing. Why am I starting there? Yeah, we definitely ran out. I don't really understand how we've already got some spoiling, though. That doesn't make sense to me. Does that make sense to you guys? How have we already had some sprouts spoil? Oh, I think I know. Because the amount of sprouts that are in circulation are completely determined by this system, and we just didn't have enough buildings crafting to consume those, if that makes sense. Like, we need to have more buildings crafting the sponges so that the sprouts are never looping around unutilized. Basically, the number of sprouts needs to be at most 2 per building, otherwise we're screwed. So I'm gonna put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That can support 10 more buildings running, maybe 12. And then we'll put the rest in the buildings. Okay, we're getting there. This will go pretty fast now. See, like, these ones aren't running yet because there are no sprouts. So that... Yeah. I think we're on the right track here. Okay, hold on. Plasmids. Do I want plasmids on the trains? Primers, polymerase. Is that actually true? I don't think so. Like, they go in a few things, but they mainly go in the same things. So I don't think I want those on trains. I don't know why. More like I want them to be made just near the good alien sample, because those are all going into good alien samples, right? The primers, the polymerase definitely are. The plasmids go in a few things, I think. Wait, where do the plasmids go? Is it the sarcoris? The sarcoris and the cytostatics, which make the perogen. So, plasmids we need for sarcoris and perogen, both of which have decay times. 29 and 31 minutes respectively. That's odd. Why are they not just both 30 minutes? Or are they? Is Helmut having a conniption here? No, it is 29 minutes. Random. Why 29 minutes instead of 30? That feels so random. We have artificial blood, so that's done. Casein needs the Easy Squeeze Ranches and Corlex, which we do not have researched yet, but we have all of the ingredients for, except Corlex food. which we need to set up, but we have everything we need for it. We have, actually no, we don't have salt on the train network, or do we? By the way, there's more salt right here, for what it's worth. No, we have salt. Okay. So salt is ready, so we can easily make Corlex food. Zipiers are just fish, stone, coke, and phytoplankton, and cold steam, which we have. So that's ready. So we are actually ready for pY2 science. Am I missing something? Or do we literally have everything we need except for Corlex and Zipier? Have Arcads. I will have Corlex milk. So we need to actually add an output of Corlex milk here of like 2 a second. And how much casein did we need to output for this? 0.834. What else does casein go to? Let's look at the recipes real quick. So casein goes into pY2. It goes into a couple foods. And we can also make melamine out of casein and cyanic. Interesting. 10 melamine out of 50 cyanic. That's terrible. That's so much cyanic acid. Why would you do that recipe? What? I mean, I guess if you had tons of extra cyanic, but even then, surely 5 casein overall is more expensive than 10 ammonia, which is basically what it's replacing. Because you only need 10 ammonia for 10 melamine. And you're spending 2.5 times as much cyanic acid? No. 5 times as much cyanic acid? This is a terrible recipe. It should feel bad about itself. There's no way. Unless you were swimming in so much cyanic acid, it was basically free. Even then, I'm struggling to imagine that being worth it. Anyway, back to looking at casein. Casein goes in... There is a plastic recipe for it. But there's a lot of plastic recipes. Casein solution is used in a fiber recipe. Interesting. I'm just trying to figure out how much extra casein we want, basically. Casein mixture. Casein pulp stage 1. Casein pulp stage 2. Which then makes casein. And it's used in a few places, so we probably want a little bit of extra. And then the casein solution is not really used except in that one place, and that's not till forever. Well, it's not even unlocked until forever from now. So wait, what was it? Casein mixture? Is that the one that's used in things? No, it's basically just the casein itself. Huh, okay. So anyway, what I want to do then is add a little bit extra. That only needs 7 ranches still. I feel like the numbers here are quite small, so I'm not worried about this. It's a reasonable amount of fish. Corlex kind of consumption. Oh, and Tufra. That's quite a bit of Tufra as well, now that I look at it. So, it's not nothing. And where is the extra Corlex milk being accounted for? Right here. Okay, perfect. So we'll get some extra Corlex milk. That's what I wanted to look at. Not the casein mixture, but just the Corlex milk itself. What does that go in? So that also goes in some foods. and good alien samples. That's literally it. And then Mark II Yotoi. So Corlax milk, a little bit extra is gonna be totally fine. I mean, how much extra do we need though? I have no idea. Need 20 per Numel meal. I mean, those are like late game. Those are purple science. Those are pY3 science. Those are pY3 science. Wait, no, these were pY4 science. Or no, just purple. Yeah, we're not gonna need extra for an insanely long time. So I can just chill and not worry about that. And casein mixture. Wait, what am I looking at here? Are these just ways to make more casein mixture? No, I'm sorry. These are both unlocked right here. We use HCl or acetic acid. What was acetic acid again? Methanol and chromium. Yeah, it's probably easier to just use the HCl. I have no memory of how much HCl we set up. How much did we actually set up here? 100 a second? Yeah, and we could so easily set up more. So that's no problem. So then 2 Corlax milk extra is probably more than enough because this uses less than 2 a second. Yeah. So this should be enough. And Tufra, I believe we set up to be 0.5. Woji. Yeah, this is all good to go. And then the Zippier eggs are good to go. Everything else, unless I've missed an icon, we literally have all these things. So now it's just a matter of putting it all together and finishing the research. Which unfortunately is not, like, we may need to speed up science again. What's my current roadblock on science? Here, let me do sponges. Because at this point, we're actually going to be bottlenecked on science. We can find other projects to do in that time, I'm sure, but that's kind of ridiculous. Never thought I'd see that day. I never thought I'd see that day. It means I've maybe gone too fast. I haven't Zen gardened properly. That's what that means. Alright, let's get a few more sea sprouts going here. What was I just gonna look at? Oh no. Oh no, I forgot. Shoot. Tufra. Also, there's a mod that I forgot to download before we started, from Simon, the pyanodon's speedrunner. And he made a mod that is kind of like Rate Calculator, but it does the math along the chain. Hard to describe exactly what I'm saying here, but okay, so 0.432. Yeah, we're definitely going to be using a lot of Tufra for Corlax. But basically what I'm getting at is I could select a build like this, and, you know, Rate Calc shows you like, oh, you have more machines than you need for this thing, or you have not enough machines for this thing, and it shows you all the intermediates and stuff. What Simon's mod does is it kind of like calculates all the chains so that it just tells you the final output and all the inputs that make that final output. So whereas like, it's easier to describe with a simple example. If I were to make something like small parts here, these buildings make small parts really fast. They need 10 gears a second, right? But let's say I only had one gear maker that only makes 4. So that means I'm really only getting 2.5 out of the 10, or sorry, 25%. No, what am I getting? I'm getting 40% of the gears that I need. So that would end up netting me only 8 small parts a second, assuming you have plenty of the other things. But, you know, rate calc doesn't show you that anywhere. So Simon's mod basically would just tell you you're gonna get 8, you know, whatchamacallits a second, and then it won't show the gears. Instead, it'll show the ingredients of the gears as the inputs. And like, rate calc does that a little bit. It does have intermediates in a separate spot, but it doesn't do the like simplex solver algorithm or whatever it is. So that is a handy tool that I will definitely download, and we'll figure out more and more good uses for it. I think sometimes it'll come in handy. Anyway, right now, I'm trying to think about what we want to build. And is this where we want to do science, in this block? Or do we want to do science in the block next to it, maybe? Yeah, let's set it up in the block next to it. Just to make sure we have plenty of room. And I'm going to preemptively set up a lot of what would it be? Strong side request extensions. We're gonna need a few of these. I'm just gonna add 2 initially. We've already got 1. I'm gonna add in a trash. Do we have trash that comes out of these things? Not really. Actually, no. No, we won't get any trash outputs. The trash outputs are from things that are going to be on trains already. So no, we're not actually going to have any need to trash outputs or anything. What I might do though, what was it, plasmids? Plasmids are used in cDNA. cDNA is used in a million things. But I could just make cDNA here as well. Kind of feels like I should, right? And cytostatics should be made here. So I'm struggling to see why I would put anything on trains yet. We'll have the train provider here just as an option, as an available option for someday. But I don't think it's going to be necessary. And then we're going to need to request all kinds of fluids. What I need to do is make a fluid super requester for 6 fluids. Or we could even, now that I know how the pumps work, we could do 12. You can get up to 12 fluids on one train station. You would just have to enable, disable the pumps properly. But yeah, we'll do F requester. I don't know what of yet, so we'll just leave them blank. But I'll do 2 of them. So that's up to 6 fluids. Is 6 fluids enough? Maybe. I don't know yet. We might actually need more. Okay, and then we're gonna need logistics bot coverage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like get power out here. I'm gonna preemptively place I'll need 1 roboport. Here, we'll do it this way. 1 roboport. These will be channel 1 roboports. And then I'll need channel 1 roboports in this area as well to have full coverage of everything. So those will be channel 1. Unfortunately, you can't set channels on ghosts. Okay, well that should get a new area ready for us here. And then sponges, we're almost there. Add a bunch more into the mix. Because yeah, these still aren't running at the back. So, I'll add a bunch more. Gotta get more sprouts going here. Bot mall is not frozen probably. If it's still blinking in a minute, we'll know it's frozen. I need to fix that. That's just an annoyance that I'm not a fan of. And do we need anything else? Are any of these to-do list absolutely necessary before then? I don't think so. Okay. Wow. So that means what? That means I can dive into this block and actually make it? And we are going to be requesting Arcad Venom. Should I do Arcad Venom barrels? Or should I put Arcad Venom on trains? Now there's a question. Oh shoot, arthropod blood. No, there is one. Wait. Oh no, sorry, that's provided, not needed. I was like, wait a second. It's not in the list. Okay, we're good, we're good. And formamide? What is that again? Okay, yeah, we will need to make that. We're not making formamide. How many places is formamide used? Is that worth putting on trains? We looked into this formic acid one and we kind of hated it, right? No, we decided it's okay if we wanted to use sulfuric acid instead of Vraux. And the only other places it goes are these good alien sample and purine analogs, whatever the heck that's about. That's in pY2. And formamide barrels are not used anywhere. So formamide is for the most part used in just this one spot. So I guess I need methanol production. And we want that on trains. We already have ammonia, we already have CO2. So we do want a big methanol plant somewhere. So let's add in to our fluids area here. Methanol. And we're gonna want this one. Let's just go big. Let's go for 300 a second. I'm just curious how much coal gas that ends up costing. If we were to like make it from first principles, as it were. Coal gas and oxygen would be 150 coal gas, which would be 25 raw coal, and we get tons of tar out as well. Were there other ways to make coal gas? That one doesn't actually exist. Coal bed gas and filtration media. Whoa, you would need 15 coal bed extractors? And those don't have modules or anything? Jeez. I'm guessing the later ones are a little bit faster? Only a little bit, though. Huh. Interesting. What's this? Carbolic oil? And then there's this one from low distillates. which bitumen gets you a good amount of. Like, I'm just curious if we work our way down this chain, how much oil sand are we talking here? .8 oil sand. Which, how many miners? 7 extractors. This isn't crazy. I'm not gonna do this right now, but I just kind of wanted to see, like, to get something like coal gas. The problem is the tin chromium alloy is kind of like, I guess that's not that bad. 0.5 tin and only 1 chromium. How much chromium are we making right now? Not very much, to be fair. Our chromium is going to be a big rebuild at some point. Anyway, what was I doing? Back to methanol. For now, we're just going to import the syngas and not worry about it. Do we have syngas on trains, though? This is super simple. Do we have syngas on trains? And I just need methanol reactors. Can I make those? Methanol reactor. Boiler, intermittent. Yeah, we can make those. And we've researched them as well. Let me finish out sea sponges here. Oh, we're so close. And then we'll go up to our auto mall and add in. I still just need to have one of these on, assigned to my personal group, so that way I don't even have to go over there. Temp crafting A is what it's called. And temp crafting A. Okay, and then I should just be able to go into my own thing and just do methanol reactor 4. And then that should now be in the auto mall. Yep. Alright, do we have enough? We have 6 more. There's 8. We're 1 short. Alright, nope, there's 1 more in the corner too. Alright, 1 more, and boom, sea sponges are done. So at this point, we can now remove this guy. And okay, let me just make sure this is all gonna do the right thing. So sponges are gonna go to the right, which means everything else is to the left, which includes sprouts and quartz. So quartz is gonna go straight to the left here and get burned. The sprouts are gonna go to the right, and they're just gonna loop again. The sponges are gonna back up on this belt and eventually start overflowing here. Once they've overflowed to here and backed up on that belt, the sponge makers will stop, or the sprout makers will stop making sprouts. Then all the sprouts will eventually get chewed up and turned into sponges, and that'll be done. So then if we want a little bit of a buffer, or not buffer, but like backup sponge collection, let's just do that. And so that will steal some, and then it'll eventually fill up. And that way we can't ever run out. It's just nice to have a big set of modules. I've never regretted having that. And sometimes you need a bunch for like the tier 2, you know? Yeah, like we need a billion of them for tier 2 sea sponges, so it's nice to build that up over time. Okay, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Alright, we're gonna need to be done with the episode soon, somehow. We're already that far in to today. But, yeah, where do we want to set up methanol production? Maybe over with the other gases over here? No. I mean, it kind of feels like it could be anywhere. That's a trash provider. Huh. Channel 2. Is this just a normal provider? It's a high priority provider. I'm at a distinct lack of normal stations here, aren't I? Is this a normal provider? Channel 1, 0 priority. Okay, so we could provide methanol down here. Okay, so we can do that. So we'll put methanol, and I want a big methanol tank. So we're gonna need Big Daddy Pie tank over here. And connect that up already. Connect that up already, and that's gonna be methanol. Just straight up. Okay. And now we'll need to add a requester, which is already what we're selected on here. F requester for syngas. I'll request a little bit more. We'll request like 60,000. Oh, good. Okay. I didn't know if I had screwed up the math on the fluid request threshold to be like, not have a max of 25,000. All right, and then what we'll do is we'll pin this, and then we can get the recipes already plugged in here. I mean, this is a super simple setup here. Super simple setup. And we're gonna... I guess we'll have to space out the buildings no matter what we do here. And if I really want to make things simple for myself, here's what we do. Out here, build another RoboPort, and then we can hook all these up. Wait. Oh, that's so... Why do you do this to us, pyanodons? Look at this selection box. This one's awful. There's a flat back edge to the building, and the selection box goes one tile higher than that? Oh man, that's something I hope someday they completely, like, I know it's so much work to redo sprites and selection boxes and stuff, because they may actually need to rework some of the sprite. Like, it's a lot of work. I get it. Trust me. But it is pretty bad how it's set up right now. Like, truly, and I'm not even arguing for one way or the other, like whether they should have overhangs or not. I'm just right now, I'm just talking about, oh, we don't actually need this one. I'm only talking about the inconsistency of it. I'm not even talking about whether it should have overhangs or shouldn't have overhangs. It's the inconsistency of, if there is a clear visual back to the building, can you actually put items there or not? And it truly is just a massive, like, toss-up right now. It kind of feels like, yeah, about half the time you can, and about half the time you can't. And that's it. Okay, so syngas is there. And then extend. And yeah, this should build properly. And then the methanol, we'll have to twist these to go the correct direction. This one, no, sorry, syngas is supposed to go one further down. That one's good as it is. This one should also be a 2-directional, and then go just directly into that guy. Oh, did I just total brain fart? Yeah, I really did. We also need to request... I don't know what just happened here. Station control... Alright, we'll get there. Krydax will get there eventually. And we're gonna do zinc, plate, and 20 stacks. Copper plate, 20 stacks. We only want full trains of these guys. I've clearly given up on making things compatible with trains later. Like bulk requests. Because the problem with bulk requests is like, it's gonna quadruple, or well, I guess it would double the amount of stuff that I request if I have some big bulk multiplier. And I just don't know if I need that. It would just immediately destroy so many buffers, and I would be buffering way more. It would break my math on chests, so I feel like I'm just gonna have to change them manually as needed, which is annoying. So I'm gonna do 24 there, zinc plates, 22 here, because we need a lot more copper per second. Oh, there's syngas. And then filters, zinc plate, and copper plate. And yeah, we'll be done with the episode. I think after this is set up. It's a good time for it. Oops. And then we bring those down. Yeah, I just completely forgot we had solids to worry about here. I don't know why. My brain was just like, oh yeah, it's just straight... What's the math here? 8 items to 4 buildings is 2 items a second. So that... Then we'll get a lamp over there and over here. And I think that will do it. Like, actually full on, proper everything. Once the bots finish. And unfortunately, I didn't turn that off. Or no, I guess, what do? I just delete it from my inventory. But now we're gonna have some extra methanol reactors, I guess. But yeah, that should be it. Well, and the methanol reactors are on channel 1, so they can't even get grabbed by the logistic network. So I'll have to go fix that. Let's just fix that now before I forget, and then we'll call it an episode. Sweet! Guys, we're doing it! We're actually doing it. We are so close to pY2 science. The science is still a little bit far, so the next thing we should do is speed up science. I assume that's gonna be still more pY2, yeah. We've got logistic buffered quite a bit, and we've got automation buffered quite a bit. So we need to go and figure out, how can I make this faster? And I think the answer is we need a second building making it, because that's capped out at 12 a minute. So literally just one more building making this is step 1. Okay, and then we move these items over to one of these, just so that we have them for later. Sweet! Okay, well, methanol's done. It's being provided. It's plugged in. Once the bots finish building all this, I believe we'll be good to go. We even set the enable disable properly, so when a train comes to request methanol, that will activate. It's on channel 1. Yeah, I think we're good. Cool. All right, well, we'll call that an episode. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.